Hey guys, I have kind of a different fun video for you today. I hope it's fun. I don't know. I'm looking for suggestions. I'm hoping to be able to give you some good suggestions and just a quick review on I guess I could do 5 different books. First of all, I love listening to audiobooks. It's one of my favorite things ever. I'll listen to them when I'm like putting laundry away, or I'll throw an earbud in if I'm walking the dog sometimes, or driving in the car, if I am unloading the dishwasher, whatever it might be. I just love listening to audiobooks. It's entertaining. It's my fun source of entertainment. Just make me sound really lame, but I love it. So the app that I use the most, and I just do it through my phone, is Libby. And that is actually, my public library uses it. So I'm able to listen to all these books for free because I check them out. So there's if there's a popular title, you put yourself on you're on the waiting list, and you might wait up to 6 months to get the book. But then there's a lot of books that you can just listen to right away because there's not a hold on them. So you can place a hold. Did I say that? Place a hold. I also have an Audible account, which I like. It's, in comparison to free, it's expensive. It's $15 a month, and you get 1 credit. So every book that you purchase is or you get a credit with your $15 a month, it's $14.98, and you get to choose, you get to buy a book with that credit. So that part of it's nice because if you find a more expensive audiobook, you can get it. Or for me, I usually just use it if there's a title I really want to listen to, or I'm doing with a friend and it's not available through the library, and then I get it. One that I recently did that was so good, and you should listen to it. It's City of Girls. I do not remember the author, but the book is City of Girls, and it's amazing. So I would really recommend that book. One of my friends bought me and a couple of our other friends a copy of it, highlighted a certain line in the back, about friendship, and gave us each a copy. Well, they were reading it. I'm oh my gosh, I don't know when I'm ever going to have time to sit down and actually read this book. So I decided, use a credit and buy it, which was totally worth it. Because then another one of our friends ended up using it, and it was perfect. So I do have that. But Libby, there's a couple others where you can actually listen to books for free. Okay, these all came on the list. These were all books that were just available. These are all sort of mystery novels, and I like them a lot because it kind of gets my brain, makes you think a little bit. I do love a good romance novel, but I don't really listen to that many of them. So, all right, a couple of the books I just finished today, and it was The Breakdown, and it's by B.A. Paris. And The Breakdown is a book about a woman who thinks she's going crazy. And I have to tell you, I wanted to turn this book off multiple times because they touch on dementia and early onset dementia, and it's kind of hard. It's in my family, so it's really hard to listen to really listen to any of that, anything relating to that. It's just a hard thing to listen to. So the book, hearing it, I'm just oh my gosh, I don't know how much more of this is going to take. This girl's going crazy. Really struggled through a good couple of hours of it, but then it started to kind of turn a little bit, and I started to catch on to some things, and I'm oh no, this is going to be really good. So it ended up, the end of it was very, very surprising and very good and really hard to not finish. So loved that book. I would highly recommend it. I just have to give you a what do they call it? A trauma warning. It can be kind of hard to listen to. So that's probably the biggest con of that book, is that it does touch on dementia, and it's just a hard one for me. So, but it's really good. Also by B.A. Paris, which I didn't realize until I wrote these down. With my handwriting, it's such a mess. I also listened to Behind Closed Doors. These are a lot of husband and wife-ish stories. That one was so good because it kind of just makes you think. It's one of those books where it really makes you question what is going on behind closed doors, and you really got to pay attention to people, and really checking on your friends, sort of a book. So I don't want to spoil them. It's really hard to do. I guess I should watch some book reviews before I do them so that I know how to do them. But that book is one where it really does give you oh my gosh, this poor woman, how is she gonna get out, sort of a thing. So that book though was amazing as well. So I'm gonna look out and see if I can find any other titles by B.A. Paris and just see, because I've been very, very impressed with a couple of books I've read from her. Okay, one that I listened to that was, it was a little hard to listen to. I was actually listening to it when I was painting my stairwell, and there was a couple of times where I'm like, oh, I gotta turn this off, like the kids are home. And it was one about a couple whose baby goes missing, and it's just really hard to listen to that kind of stuff as a parent, because you're just like, oh my gosh, it's like your worst nightmare, especially an infant, you know? So that book was, I mean, that was another one where like at every turn, but I do have to warn you, like it is sort of a kidnapping novel. So that was a little bit where it was just like, well, like, I couldn't imagine, and then having things be so close to home, and it's like people that you think you know and the people that you think you trust and stuff like that. So that was another really good one. And that was by Shari Lapena, Lapena, and that's The Couple Next Door. I would give that book like I'll rate these. So like Behind Closed Doors, I'd probably give it like an 8. The Breakdown, that one is just so hard for me to listen to. I would say like a 7. The Couple Next Door, like a 7. And another one, David Baldacci. Yeah, David Baldacci. I've listened to a couple of his books before. Like on road trips, I've listened to some with my dad. I've listened to some with my boyfriend. He's a really good author. His books there's very little of any sort of lovey-dovey stuff in them, where these other ones, it's like, you know, you've got couples and you kind of get that like, oh, like that feel good from that sort of a relationship, or what you think is a relationship. Actually, in every single one of those, that there's problems in the marriages. Come to think of it. Yeah, baby. Will you give me like 3 more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, just come back in 3 minutes. Okay. The next one, okay, so The Last Mile, and that was the one by David Baldacci. And this one is about a man who was on death row. He's been in jail for 20 years, 40 years. Gosh, how do I not remember that now? It was a couple books ago that I read this one. Anyways, he's been in jail. He's on death row, and he's ready to be like, it's that night he's going to be executed. And somebody confesses to the murder of his parents, which he was getting, you know, executed for the murder of his parents. Somebody confesses, and it just goes into this, like, it is a story where there's like so many levels, and you just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And that book was interesting because you're just like, how could this possibly, like, how could this ever get pieced together? And eventually it does. And it, like, that book, out of all 4 of these books, that book made me cry at the end of it. Like actual like tears like pouring down my face, because it was just like, oh my gosh. And it was, you know, a story about friendships being developed, or a friendship eventually being developed from it, and like good coming from it, and a man with like I'm probably botching this completely, but this investigator, or this ex-cop who lost his family, has like hyperamnesia, and he can, you know, see everything and remember everything, and has a stellar memory, and he like really like takes this case to heart, and just, it was awesome. So those are 4 different titles that, here, I'll hold this up really fast, not that it's like that legible, but these are 4 different titles, if you can read my writing, that were really good. So if you're looking for, you know, something, say you're doing the traveling this weekend and you need something to listen to in the car, I'd recommend any of these titles. They're not like super duper popular titles, so you'll actually hopefully be able to check them out from your library, and, you know, be able to listen to them. But again, if you don't have like a free audiobook app, you're totally missing out, because it's so amazing. And if you're looking for a way to be more productive, then I suggest audiobooks, because you find yourself like busy, which I'm such a busybody. So I'm busy doing things with my hands and getting stuff done, but I'm still being entertained, because I'm just a busybody. Who am I kidding? Anyways, that's it for today. I just want to share that with you guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye.